Hello guys, this is Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com, and we're here today with episode number 71 in our incredible new tutorial series where you're learning how to think like an engineer using the Arduino Uno R4 Wi-Fi. What I will need you to do is pour yourself a nice tall glass of ice cold coffee. That would be straight up black coffee, poured over ice, no sugar, no sweeteners, none needed. And as you're pouring your coffee, as always, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Sunfounder. Sunfounder is actually sponsoring this most excellent series of video lessons, and in this class we will be using the Sunfounder Elite Explorer Kit. Now hopefully most of you guys already have your gear, but if you don't, take a look down in the description. There is a link over to Amazon and you can hop on over there and pick your kit up. And believe me, your life and my life are going to be a whole lot simpler if we are working on identical hardware. But enough of this shameless self-promotion. Let's jump in and talk about what I am going to teach you today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can control your Arduino project over Wi-Fi with a graphical user interface, a GUI. And we've kind of been building up to this. About 3 or 4 lessons ago, I showed you how you can communicate between Python on your desktop and your Arduino project over Wi-Fi using UDP, so we could connect the desktop to the Arduino project over Wi-Fi. That was done. Then last week, what I showed you how you can build cool graphical user interfaces in Python using PyQt5. And then today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that PyQt5 GUI that we developed last week, and we're going to get that working with our Arduino project. So you need to at least go back, and if you're a drive-by shooter and just dropping in on this video, you need to go back and watch the video on creating the client-server relationship between Python and Arduino. Got to know how to do that. And then secondly, you need to watch last week's video where I introduced you to PyQt5 and we built our first graphical interface. Now let's take a look at the project that we're actually going to demonstrate this on. You can see I need to get out of your way, but we've got the breadboard, we've got an RGB LED, we have the breadbolt power supply because we want to run this thing completely mobile. You can see right now I'm charging my breadbolt up as I'm doing my initial teaching, and then this breadbolt is going to power the Arduino because I have the 5-volt rail from the breadbolt going to VN of the Arduino, ground to ground. The RGB LED, the R is connected to pin 9, the G to pin 10, and the B to pin 11, and I'm using 1000 ohm resistors there. So you can see that's a pretty easy circuit, but it's one that will allow us to develop this framework for controlling things on the Arduino with the graphical user interface. Okay, enough of this talking. Let's see if we can jump in and start doing some coding here. And I don't want to start from scratch. And so what I want us to do is start from where we left off last week, which was we had this lesson on use PyQt5 to create a graphical user interface for Arduino project over Wi-Fi. So that looks like that would be an excellent video, or that would be an excellent place for us to start. And so this was the code that we developed last week. So you'll need to search on this lesson, use this happy little search icon to search on something like this. You will come to this lesson. We are going to get this code, copy it. We're going to come over to our Thonny Python window. We're going to paste it. And now this should pop up a graphical user interface using PyQt5. And here it is. I have a button that says red blink. It says blink red, blink green, it blinks green. Up here, blink blue, it says blink blue. Toggle red is on, toggle red is off, toggle green is on, toggle green is off, toggle blue is on, toggle blue is off. Now, right now, what this graphical user interface does is it simply changes the title Okay, but instead of changing the title, what do I want to do? I want it to, instead of changing the title, send a command, send a UDP command over to the Arduino to make the Arduino do something. Okay, so we've got this part working. Let's go over, and also I don't want to develop the server side, the Arduino side from scratch. And so let's go over to our Arduino IDE, and then let's come back to the most excellent www.toptechboy.com. And this time we're going to go to our lesson called Improved Client Server Framework for Arduino. And let's get our Arduino code. So I'm going to come down here. It's this first one. It says the following code creates the server. So this is the Arduino side. I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste it. Okay, I've got that pasted, so that's good. And now remember, you have to get your secrets file. Okay, you've got to get your secrets file here. And that has your Wi-Fi name and your Wi-Fi password. You come over here and you create a new tab, which I have already done. And then in your secrets tab here, you fill in to that little form that we just, I just showed you, your Wi-Fi name and your password. And I'm of course not going to click on that because it already has my password credentials, and I don't want to show that to the world. Okay, now let's run this and let's see if we have it kind of setting up a server here. And so I click run, and it is compiling the sketch. And it is downloading, and I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Oh, I see. Can you all see what I did wrong? Look at that. We need to actually plug the Arduino in. Enough of this battery charging, and let's get the Arduino plugged in here. Now we will come back over here, and we will make sure that we are connected. We will make sure that we are connected. We'll come up here to tools and then pour the COM port. Okay, there it is. I think I should be connected now. Let's try again. Okay, it's looking pretty good. It is downloading, and we are now going to hit the serial monitor button, and then I'm going to hit the reset button on the Arduino, and then it says here connecting to Wi-Fi 192.168 gives me my IP address, and so I have the server running here. Now what this program does is it just goes out and it reads a string. It reads a string from the client program, and then it parses that string by using the little function that we developed, which is called split string. Okay, so then we're going to send it from the Python side, we're going to send it a colon delimited data string. So whatever data that we want to send, we just separate it with colons, and then this comes in and splits it. So at this point in the program, it's going to get the command from the client, from our GUI, all right? It's going to get the command, and then it's going to parse it, but then from here down, we're going to then have to make the Arduino actually do something, okay? But at least we have the client working right now. I mean, we have the server working right now. Let's come over and let's see if we can get our client working. Now, what we showed is this creates the graphical user interface, but when we come down in all of these different functions associated with the button, each button has a function. So like this function for the first one is, what do you do when you push button red clicked? When we clicked on that red push button, what does it do? It just changes the label is all it does. Well, what do we want it to do? We want it to send a command to the Arduino. We want it to send a command to the Arduino. And so what are we going to need to do up at the top? We're going to need to put in the code that allows this program to become a client program. It allows this program to work over UDP. Again, we're going to save ourselves some time by coming over here to this improved client server framework for the Arduino, and we're going to come down to the client side, and what we see is that there's some things we're going to need. We're going to need to set up our port, we're going to need to set up our host, and we're going to need to import socket. And in fact, we want to probably get all the way up to here, up to import socket. I think you guys hopefully saw that I got the import socket there. Okay, and then all the way down to setting the socket timeout. So I'm going to copy all of that. And then also note that this is my IP address. You're going to need to use your IP address. Where do you get your IP address? Well, from running the server. That server program will tell you. So that's this is my IP address. You need to run your server and you need to use your server address. Okay. So now we're going to come back to Thonny, and we're up here at the top. We're going to put in that code that helps us create a UDP connection. So I'm going to paste in that, and you can see that I imported socket. I put in my host address for my for my Arduino. I put the port in. I create my socket. I set a timeout. Okay, so that, let's just run that and see if that runs. Okay, and so it runs, no errors, and we get this. Now I'm not sending commands yet, but at least I've got my UDP connection set up. So that's a pretty big step forward, all right, wouldn't you say? Okay, now let's come down here, and I think what we're going to want to do now is I think that we're going to want to go to that first push button, and let's see if we can actually make that push button do something. Okay, so that was the red push button. So we're going to come down here, and this is the function that is executed when the red button is pushed. Well, we can still go ahead and we can change the label. That's fine. But now I'm going to create a command, and that command is going to be simply red blink, like that. So this is going to be sent to the server, the Arduino, and then the Arduino is going to say, oh, well, if it's red blink, what should I do? I should blink the red. Okay, if it's red blink is the command, I should blink the red. Now I'm going to show you how cool this colon delimited business is. So I'm going to put a colon, and I'm going to tell it I want it to blink 5 times, and I want each blink to be 100 milliseconds, and then I'm going to put that end of string character, the slash in. Make sure your slash is going the right way. It's the one above your enter key, not the one on your question mark, okay? And then we're going to put that. And so rather than have the Arduino just make up a number of blinks and a blink time, I'm sending that over encoded in the command and the colon delimited data packet that I'm sending. Now, what's neat about that, we could expand our GUI in the future to have a little dial that said how many blinks you wanted or how fast you wanted to blink. But right now, we're just going to hardwire it in at 5 and 100 just to make this kind of a little bit quicker. Now I need to encode that command, so I'm going to say command encoded is equal to cmd.encode, like that. So now it is encoded. Now remember my socket we created up above. I want to send to my socket. What do I want to send? Command encoded. And then where do I send it to? I send it to that host that we defined up at the top and the port that we defined up at the top. Okay, make sure you get those parentheses closed well. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I'm going to print, and I'm going to print sent space. And then what did I send? The CMD. This is the CMD without being encoded because that's the printer-friendly version of it. And then I'm going to say to host, which you could also call that your server. And then what is it? It is host, comma, P-O-R-T, like that. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to try to get a response back. We are going to try to get a response back from the server. I wonder if I did this over here on on the client. Just see if I can copy and paste a few things here. Okay. No, this is pretty, yeah, I think this might be it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get a response. Okay, so where are we? We are at Improved Client Server Framework for Arduino. We come down to the client side, and then this try and accept is really what I think we need. So we will save some typing and typos, because I know you guys are getting tired of really long lessons. Last week's lesson was an hour, so that was not too bad, but I know you all get a little bit upset with me when it's more than an hour. So now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to read the response back from the server. So it's going to read from the server, it's going to print server response, and then if it doesn't get one, it's going to say that it did not get one. Okay? Does that sound good? Now there's one little cleanup thing I'm going to do on the server side right now. On the server side right now, we're going to, how we started putting these end of string character on our string. And so up here, where I say that my response is ACK for acknowledge, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that end character on there, because sometimes that helps UDP read the string a little bit better. I'll go ahead and run this, get that down in the latest code down in the Arduino. Okay, now we are going to come back over on the Python side. And so we have that in pretty good shape. Now we're only bringing to life one button at this point, but let's go ahead and run it. And let's see if we see any client server type action. Now it would not do, right? And let's look down here so you can see on the server side we are connected. And let's see if I can, this is okay. So on the server side we are connected. And then the blink red was the one that I kind of got hooked up. So let's see if anything happens if I say blink red. Okay, let me try here. Okay, I seem to be kind of, okay, it says blink red, but it didn't seem to anything really come to life over here. And we just downloaded the code, UDP server. Let's try to download this again. So you see, I want that click red to actually seem to communicate with the Arduino, and that time it didn't seem to. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to hit the reset button just to make sure. Okay, now it's really telling me that it is connected. Now I'm going to run the client again here. Okay, and so now let's run the client. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can get where we can see the serial monitor on the Arduino. Okay, yeah, so you can see on the Python side and you can see on the Arduino side. Now I'll bring this over here. Now let's click red and see if anything happens. Ah, okay, look at that. All right, so I said blink red. Now, what did the Arduino say? It said that the UDP server started on port 1234. It received the data packet red blink :5:100. It sent the acknowledgement, and then it parsed that data packet into red blink, 5, and 100. So that's exactly what we wanted to see. Now let's see if we can go back and look at the client side. Okay, look in here at the client side. Here it is. It said send. What did it do? It sent red blink 5100 to the host, and then it received the acknowledgement back. So our GUI has communicated with the server round trip. So that's really cool. We're getting some pretty good action here, I would say. So now what we want to do is we want over on the Server side, we want it to do something, right? We want it to do something on the server side. Now, what you have to see is this split string. It takes the string that I sent it, and it creates an array, string array. String array of 0 is going to be red blink. String array of 1 is going to be the 5, and string array of 2 is going to be the 100. Okay, so now let's do something with that. Well, if we're going to do something, we better do a little bookkeeping up here. And that is, after we get all this server stuff set up, what we're going to do is I am going to go ahead and say I have an integer red pin, which was pin 9, and then the int green pin, which was equal to pin 10. And I like to put nice little pretty spaces in there, okay? And now int blue pin is equal to pin 11, like that. So that is all good. We're also going to need to do our pin modes down here. So after doing the serial.begin, I'll do the pin mode, and then this is going to be red pin. It's going to be an output, like that. Was I a good boy? Yes, I was. I remembered my semicolons. Pin mode is going to be green pin. It's going to be output like this. Okay. And then pin mode blue pin is going to be an output. So now I have those all set up. All right. Now we're going to come down here, and what we are going to do is we are going to, give me just a second to get some stuff cleaned up here. Okay. So at this point, I should have that string array, right? It is the string array. I should have that at this point. So since I should have it at this point, what I can do is I can say if, and what if string array of 0, the first element, if that is equal to, I want to think, if that is equal to, what did we say? It was red blink, and I wanted to make sure that I was thinking about that right. So if string array is equal to red blink, and I put it in just like that, okay, if that is the case, what do we want to do? We want to go for loop. I'm going to say integer I. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to blink as long as I is less than string array of 1, which was the number of times that you were going to blink. Now, when I split a string into that array, I'm going to end up with 5, but it's not the number 5, it is the string 5. So what do I need to do? I need to take it to int. So that's just going to convert the character 5 to the integer 5, and then I'm going to say I is equal to I plus 1. All right, and then I am going to open that for loop, okay, and then I'm going to close the for loop. So this closes the if statement, this closes the for loop. Now we need to do something in this for loop. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say serial.print ln, and what am I going to print? Blink red, like that, okay. And then I am going to digital write, and it's going to be red pin high, like that. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to whoa, that was craziness there. I don't know what happened. I hit something wrong. Okay. And this is, wow, I really messed something up. So okay, I hope that's the for loop end. This is the end of the if statement. and then this is the end of the main if here, the main if, and then this is the end of the loop. So I think those things balance, but I'm going to take red pin high, and then I'm going to delay by 100 milliseconds. No, I'm going to delay by string array of 0, 1, 2. Okay, that is going to be the character, the string 100, so I need to do a to int to make it an integer like that. And so that should be good. Now I'm just going to take those 2 lines of code, copy, and then I'm going to paste them. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to send it low, like this, low. All right, now let's see if this thing will compile. What did I forget? Okay, for not a comma. This isn't Python, this is Arduino. So let's try that again. Looking a little happier this time till stingray. No, it's not a stingray, it is a stringray. And live by copy and paste and die by copy and paste. So let's try it again. Looks like it's a little bit happier this time. Okay, so that looks good. Now we're going to come over back to, and let's go ahead and get this up and ready to go. Let's see if I can give you a visual of the action here. You'll be watching that little LED. Of course, it doesn't show up really good. Maybe I can put a little hat on it. Maybe that'll help it show up a little better. You got to diffuse those LEDs or the camera doesn't want to pick them up, okay? So now let's see, I'll hit the reset and we are connected to Wi-Fi. Now we need to come over to Thonny, and now I'm going to run Thonny, and then I'm going to have my thing pop up, and now I'm going to try to blink red. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom! Let's try it again. It's fast. You got to watch it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom! We have that first one working. Okay. Now, I think we're going to do a little wild and crazy. We are going to do some wild and crazy cutting and pasting. So we're going to need to take these 2, close, and go up to the if statement, and we're going to copy. Okay. And then we're going to come after that second close, and we are going to paste. Okay, and then we are going to paste again. All right, now this last one that I have here, this should be blue. Okay, so if string array is equal to blue blink like that, then we're going to do this. This should be blink blue, and then this is going to be blue pin, and then this is going to be blue pin like that. I think that will work. So that was blue blink, and now this one should be green blink, and then this one should be blink green, and this will be green pin, G-R-E-E-N pin, and this should be G-R-E-E-N pin. Now we've also got to activate on the client side. We got to activate those buttons to actually do something, but that should be some wild and crazy copying and pasting there. So we're going to come here, and now we're going to bring this back down. We're going to bring this back down. And what did we do? Man, sometimes these windows are very hard to resize. Okay, so what did we do for the click, the push button red click, the push button red clicked? We did all of this. Okay, starting with the CMD because the label was already there. Okay. It's just the function. Okay, so you just get all that function in addition to, all the function after the two labels. And so now I'm going to copy, and now I need to come down to the green click. I need to come down to the green click, push button green clicked, and now I am going to Control V, and now we got to be really, really, really careful. So this time, did I not get the command? Didn't I need to create the command? I don't think I got the command for some reason. So let me cut that. Let me copy that one as well. I thought I'd gotten everything, but I did not get that. Oh, yes, I did. Look at it. I just did a poor job pasting it. You see? For some reason, I didn't get the character return. So if I just put a return, it was there. Okay, so now that is going to be, instead of red blink, that is going to be green blink. And then I encode it, I send it, and I think everything else is the same. So I'm kind of eager to try this. Let's see what happens. Okay, red blink is working, and then green blink doesn't do anything because I'm not sure that I downloaded the server. So let's come back to our server code, and let's make sure that we've downloaded our server code. Looking good, looking good. This is going pretty well, don't you guys think? Don't you think this is going pretty well? I think it is. And now I'm going to hit the, hit that. And then I'm going to come back to the client side. Let's come back over here to the client side. And now let's run the client. Okay, we're going to come over here. Okay, now I'm going to hit red blink, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. Okay, and I'm going to try green blink. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, now I think blue blink is going to be easier. Did we do blue blink? I don't remember if we did. No, we didn't do blue blink. But now that we have green blink, then blue blink is going to be pretty darn easy. So I'm going to say copy. I'm going to come down to that blue button like that. I'm going to Control V, and then the command is just going to be blue blink like that. Let's run it. Now this time the server should still be okay. And so let's try red blink. Boom, we got it. Green blink, blue, we got it. Blue blink. Is that actually blinking blue? Yeah, that's blinking blue. Okay, it's blinking green, and it's blinking red. Okay, all of that is really, really, really great. But now what we got to do is we got to go do those other buttons, just the toggle buttons. Okay, we got to do the toggle buttons now. And so we are down to needing to find the toggle buttons. Okay, and so now here is toggle button red. Okay, and so let's start that. What do we want to do with the toggle button red? We want to toggle. Okay, and so so we want to toggle. So what should we do? I'm going to say CMD is equal to red on, like that. Okay, if it is checked. So here in toggle red, okay, what do I run if the toggle button is pressed? I connect to toggle red, and then I send it the parameter checked. And checked will be true if it's checked, and it will be false if it's unchecked. Okay, so checked will say it's every time you click it, it's going to go true, false, true, false, true, false. That is how you get your toggle action. So here, if it's checked, that means it was clicked once. We want to do what? We want to do red on, like that. Okay, and then I think everything else is going to be It's just like what we sent in these earlier ones, okay? I need to then command encode, and I need to get all of this. All I did really was change the command. Okay, and so then we're going to do a Control B, like that. And Python is kind of tricky that you want to make sure that you get your indentation right. And this didn't indent perfectly, so I need to indent it all over. Okay, so now this would just turn the LED on, okay? But now, what do we also want to do? We're going to take all of this, and I'm going to copy it, all of that under toggle red. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it. And then this is if it's checked, and now this is going to be if not checked. If checked. Let me try that again. So this is if checked. I want all of this. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. And then if not checked, that's already there. If not checked, then I'm going to do all of this, which is almost all identical, except if not checked, what should it be? Red off. Okay, and then we send it and we wait. All the rest of that's the same, isn't it? So let's see if this will run. Okay, it ran. We didn't get an error. And let's see if I toggle red. Okay, it sent it. It seems happy. But what do we need to do now? We got to go over the server side and have it do something if it sees that. Okay, and so this is going to be pretty easy. So we see that this one closes the void loop. This one closes the main if statement. We need to put it after that one. And I'm going to say if string array of 0 equal red on, like that. Then what do I want to do? I want to digital write red pin high. Okay, that's pretty easy, isn't it? Right? And then that closes the if statement right there. So let's take that, and what are the other things that we are going to have? We are going to have, if it's equal to red off, then this will go low. All right, now I'm going to take those two and make sure you see this closes the if statement. And so I just want the open close if statement. I'm going to take both of those, okay, and I'm going to paste those like that, okay, and this is going to be green on, and this would be green pin, and then this is going to be green off, and this is going to be green pin low. That's good. This closes the if statement, so now I'm going to come after that if statement. I'm going to paste those two again, and then this is going to be blue, and this is going to be blue, and this is going to be blue, and this is going to be blue, like that. Okay, now let's run this. It's looking happy, isn't it? I think it's going to download, and then we're going to come back over to the client side, and then I did the, okay, if checked, so I did the red, if toggle red, if it's checked, if it's not checked. And then I ended up with an extra paste here that I didn't really need. Okay, so if checked, if not checked. Okay, now I'm just going to take all of this. I'm just going to take all of this. I think it's going to be the easiest thing to do. That whole function. Okay, and now I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to paste that whole function. And then this is going to be for green. And so this is going to be green. And then the color is going to be green. And then this is going to be green on. And then encoded, then I send it and I print the response. Then here would be green. This should have been off. Green toggle off. And I probably have that same error up here where I say red toggle on, and then this should be red toggle off. All right, so now, and this would be now if checked. Okay, so green. So we have green and we got green on. That looks good. Try accept if checked, green toggle off. And then this should be green. And then this should be green on. And I really messed things up here, didn't I? Yeah, for some reason, do you see that I like had this if checked twice? So this should say if not checked. Then green toggle is off. Then this is red off. Red, red. Okay, so I got a little fast with that, but you see now I have if checked, I have if not checked. So now I'm going to take this whole thing. I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to take this whole thing. I'm going to paste. All right, now I will correct this. So this is now the green. So this is green. This is green. This is green on. And then this is all the same. Now, if not checked, then this is green toggle off. And then this is green off. And then this is color green. And then this is all the same. Now I need to come down to blue. And same thing, I am going to paste the whole thing like that now that I've got it copied right. And so this is now going to be blue toggle on. This is going to be color blue. And then this is going to be, if not checked, this will be blue. This will be color blue. And then this will be blue off. And did I do the command? Again, I'm missing that command here. I'm not doing my pasting perfectly. So then here I actually need D. CMD is equal to, what did we say? This is blue on. Blue on. And then the /n close like that. Blue encode and then blue off. And that's blue off. Got in a little bit of a hurry. Let's see if this thing will run. I might still have some errors in here on line 168. Yeah, you see, I just somehow, I like erased something as I was going too fast. And so that is the label style sheet. So let me get the label style sheet. Hopefully you guys were copying and pasting cleanly. And so and this was blue. All right. Got in a little bit of a hurry, guys. I'm sorry about that. And now we've got this eyes on the project. So we're going to blink red. Okay, boom, we blinked red. We're going to blink green. Boom, we blink green. We're going to blink blue. Boom, we blink blue. We toggled red on. We toggled red off. Toggle green on, toggle green off, toggle blue on. All right, guys, look at that. Now, what I want to show you is what the really exciting thing is. Now, watch this. I'm going to unplug this, okay, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to turn it on, okay. Now, I've turned it on here, right, and now I'm going to run my client again. And look at this, no wires, but I can come on and I can turn the green LED on. And that doesn't show up very well because of the green screen, but let me turn that off, okay, and let me turn red on. And there is red. Can you see that? There is red. I'm going to turn the red off. I'm going to turn the blue on. Okay. Doesn't show up perfectly on the camera, but it is working like a charm. We're going to blink red. There it is, 5 blinks red. Working completely mobile from a graphical user interface running on your Python. Okay, so what have we learned? We've got our graphical user interface controlling the Arduino wirelessly and remotely powered. Boom, that's good. We can make a push button switch, which we've demonstrated. We can make a toggle switch, which we have demonstrated. Now, in the next few lessons, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the other useful widgets, other types of useful widgets, which you can develop using the PyQt. Now, in the end, what I would say is you just keep one big PyQt program that has these different examples of widgets, and then when you want to build your custom widget, you come in with that one and you just take out the parts you don't want, and like if you want more slider bars, copy and paste that part of the code. But if you get the basic framework, which is a little painful as we've done in these last few lessons, when you get that basic framework working, then it's going to become very easy to build your user interfaces because you're starting with a working client-server relationship and you're starting with a working PyQt widget. Okay, guys, I hope you're having as much fun taking this class as I am making it. It's at this point that I always want to give a shout out to you guys who are standing with me on Patreon. Right now, the only way that I am able to continue to make this content, this in-depth content, is because of the support of the Patreon. So I thank you. You can also help me by leaving a thumbs up on the video and leaving a comment down below. That helps me with the old YouTube juice. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and when you do, make sure you ring that bell so you'll get notifications when future lessons drop. And as always, most importantly, share this video with other people because the world needs more people thinking like an engineer and fewer people sitting around watching silly cat videos. Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com. I will talk to you guys later.